Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we'll be talking about IAM users. So a recap of what IAM user is all about. So IAM user, it's a service that has been provided by a cloud service provider called Amazon. Now, one of the first things you need to take into consideration after creating your root account for your company or for your so is to do what is to create users. Now these users will help you for easy management. It will help you for easy granting permissions, and also it's a security measure that you are simply implementing for the well-being of your company or for the well-being of your root account, because it is of best practice that you grant permissions not directly to users but what to groups. So an IAM user, an IAM, which is simply means identity and access management, gives you that possibility to segment your company into groups and create users, associate those users to those groups, and allocate or assign permissions to group instead as a best practice. So not to waste much of our time, I'll move straight to the point, taking into consideration that you have your root account as I have mine here on the aws.amazon.com platform. You log into your console depending on the login method you use. It might be using the console or going through some terminal emulator and others. So now when you log into your root account, depending on how frequent you have been using your account, some recently visited services will be displayed here. But if you can't have such, you just need to come to under service, or you come under services here. You do what you search for IAM. IAM is a global service, so that is IAM. So since I have been visiting my account frequently, all I need to do is I click on IAM, and now when you click on IAM, it will take you to the IAM page. That's where you see various options like users, groups, permissions, rule, and other rest. So a brief a brief explanation between rules and policy is that rules are temporal permission granted to resources or to a user in the AWS cloud platform. While policies, these are set of principles. These are set of principles or rules that govern a particular group. Policies are permanent, while rules can be we can say they are temporal permission given to someone. So we have opened our IAM, which is Identity and Access Management dashboard, as you can see. So in the past, I've created 5 users group. I have 11 users, 3 rules, 0 policies, and others. So we'll move straight to what you create a user. In order to create a user under your IAM dashboard, you need to, on the left under dashboard, you click on rules. Sorry, you click on users. So now when you click on users, it will display you some already created users. But now I want to show you how to create a new user. So to your right, it is written there add user. You click on add users. Now when you click on add user, what you need to do, you must give a name. Remember, it is a global service, so you need to give a unique name based on these characteristics that have been mentioned here. It should be an alphabet. The characters should be alpha. It can be alphanumerical, special characters, and others. So for the sake of this class, I will name my user IAM. Yeah, IAM. I give it user. Let me say YouTube. So now when you do that, below they are asking you, do you want to enable console access? So you have to take into consideration that one method to access your AWS account is by using the console. There are various methods using API, using for another way. So but now they are asking me, do you want this particular user to be able to access this his or her account using the console? Console simply means you'll be giving what? A username and a password. There are other methods which you can access by using keys and other ways. We'll get to that. I will say yes. No, it's advisable with someone that don't really have an experience in using this thing. You always advisable to give them a console access. But when you become more knowledgeable about using it, sometimes most of the time they will give you but what access key in order to do the various things. So now when you enable access control, they'll ask you console password. Do you want AWS to generate a password for you? Do you want to give a custom password? Custom password simply means you, the admin, will want to give a password for that user. But if you take auto generate, it means AWS will generate a password for you, which you will download and share it to that user that he or she will use. Now they are asking you if it's a custom password. Remember, we click on custom, and a space will appear here for you to put your password. But I'll go for auto generate because it's another security measure is that it's not advisable as you the admin to know the password of each user. Always allow AWS to generate for them, and when AWS generate, after the first sign in, they will change the password. So you click on auto generate for now. You do what user must create a new password as next login. As I was saying, it's always recommended that when AWS generate a password for your user, you should always check this box so that once the user sign in for the first time, they will be able to change the password and put whatever they like, depending on the characteristics on how the password is supposed to be. That's password policy. It must be more than 8 characters, uppercase, lowercase, special numbers, and other words. So basically, this is what you need to do to create, let's say, a basic IAM user. When you are done with this, you click on next. So it will take us to this next page, asking us to set permissions. Now, as I was saying, permissions are always advisable to be assigned to groups, not to user, for best practice policies. You understand? It means you can add user to a group, you can copy an already existing permission, you can attach policy directly. Yeah, it's allowed, but it is not advisable as best practice. When we say it's not advisable, it means the security is being it's not good to assign policy directly to user. Taking out of security, it will not be easy for you to manage your services. So in this case, you need to either create a group by clicking here, or you insert that user into an existing group. As you can see here, I have groups. I will do a video on how to create groups and other words. But now let's just assign this user to a group for the sake of this video. So I already have groups now. I have groups: operation, developers, administrators. Remember, create groups according to the level of access you have. The CEO should not be in the same group with developers. Developers should not be in the same group with accountants. Accountants should not be in the same group with marketers and others. So I'll create a different video just for groups, and we'll trash that in detail. So I'll choose, let's say, admin is an admin user. Oh no, I'll go under developer. You can assign a user in multiple groups, remember. So I'll go under developer, and what do? I click on next. Now when you click on next, developers already have some permission that I've granted to it. You can, after, add some permissions, depend, as I said. But now I've assigned this user, I've included this user into the developers group. And basically, developers in the company, they are the one that, create, like the DevOps engineer, they create services, deploy services, and other words. You can add tag if you want, tag like something like a short description. If you want, you can add tag. If you don't, you review. If everything is okay, you just click on create user. Now that user has been created. Remember, AWS does not charge you for users. You can have multiple users at a time. It's not the same user you have been charged for. It's not the same. So now this is my user. Always remember to download the .csv file, because if you don't download it, you have to delete this user and create another one. Always remember to download. It contains the credentials. This is what you share with the user for the first time login. The user will go and log in, input. Based on this URL, you copy this URL to a browser. This is the username and this is the password. For security reasons, I can't click on the password, someone can just, you understand. So you always download this CSV file and share it to your user. It will contain the username and the password, same as the URL. The user just needs to do what? Click on this URL, or open it on the browser, put the username and put the password. When he or she does that, AWS will prompt the user to change the password. So you have to change the password and you log in finally to your account. So that's all I have for you today, and thank you. Please click like and share and comment if you need any help, and see you for the next video. Thanks.